Morning update for a Thursday. Gracie is back. We're talking Gracie Hansen, one of Portland's most colorful figures from the past. Might remember her from the old Hoyt Hotel. Well, now there's a musical adventure about her life opening on stage from Triangle Productions tonight in our town. Don Horn, the guy who wrote the book about Gracie Hansen and the musical, with us on the Morning Update. And Don, remind us, she was a housewife in Morton, Washington, who became, well, the queen of the World's Fair and quite an entertainer.
Well, she lived in Morton for 20 years. She had 6 babies die on her. She had cervical cancer. She fought depression. And then she adopted this little boy named Sam. And when she adopted him and he started going to school, she started getting involved in the PTA. And to raise money for the PTA, she started doing the Morton Follies for 2 nights every year. And it lasted for 6 years. And she said she wrote, directed, stole, borrowed, produced, and starred in the Morton Follies.
And that went on to the World's Fair and was a huge hit up there, I assume.
Well, no. What happened was in 1958, she hired these loggers to be on stage, and the loggers were good on Friday, and Saturday night they got drunk, and when they got on stage, do the can-can, they lift their dresses, and they were nude underneath.
Ooh.
And closed her down.
Wow.
And so, yeah, she kind of, again, fought depression. She had a liquor store, and the liquor store didn't produce money, and she really got depressed. And her friend Esther Lesher said, if you can do it in Morton, you can do it in Seattle. And so she went to the Seattle, raised $90,000, and opened the World's Fair Pavilion called the Paradise.
The Paradise Pavilion, a lot of people who went to that would remember that. What kind of a place was it?
Well, it was 700 seats. It had 3 shows a night, 6 nights a week, and she had bare-breasted women on stage.
Many Portlanders who may not even recall that will remember Gracie from the Roaring Twenties Room in the Hoyt Hotel in Northwest Portland. She was one of the last. I mean, we don't have that many colorful figures around here anymore, do we?
Well, we were talking not too long ago. Somebody asked me, and I said, well, maybe Bud Clark.
Yeah.
And that, people now say Storm Large, but she wasn't from the Northwest. This is a homegrown girl who, she's probably the last.
So for those who never encountered Gracie in the Roaring Twenties Room, how would you describe her? What was she all about?
She managed the Roaring Twenties Room. It was actually called Gracie Hansen's Roaring Twenties Room. And in 1965, when it opened, she had just had 2 years off the World's Fair. She would walk on stage and she would say, "Hello, suckers," and she'd tell joke, and she'd tell a couple jokes and sing off key, and because she could not sing, and she just had a great time, and many people flocked down there. In fact, there was always a line around the block. Wayne Morris, the senator, waited in line. Fred Meyer, who owned the Fred Meyer chain, waited in line to get in. You didn't have an easy pass to get in. Everybody had to wait in line.
So here we are in 2012. It sounds like this story is tailor-made for the stage. Who plays Gracie, and how does it come together?
Well, Juliana Jaffe, who has done some work for me in the past, I went to New York and sat down with her and said, Juliana, I need somebody who can portray this woman. She's a hard woman to portray because you have this woman who, we have to make sure it's a musical, so Juliana definitely has to sing, and then also have Gracie's voice. And for the last year, I've worked on 3 books and a musical, and also, I don't know if you know, she also ran for governor of Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
So in 1970, so that's how the show starts. It starts with her running for governor and then telling her life story.
Was it hard to put together? I mean, you had so many parts of this story you could have told it, but you couldn't tell all of it, I don't imagine.
Right. Well, that's why I started with her running for governor, because I think a lot of people, it's weird because I wrote it thinking that, oh, my God, we're just going to put this on stage. I didn't realize it was an election year. I'm hoping people don't think that she's really running for governor, But she had governor buttons, and so I've got the buttons made up again, so people will have the governor buttons, and she's going to run for governor for Oregon in 1970.
Don Horn, thank you very much for telling us about it. Sometimes I think we get so caught up in all our discussion about the problems and how we're going to get through the troubles of the economy and who we're going to elect and all that, we forget to look back at the history that really shaped us. This definitely a slice of colorful Northwest history coming together in a new musical, Gracie, a musical adventure from Triangle Productions. It's 4 weeks only, tonight through May 27th in our town. Specific information and information about tickets at 1190kex.com. It's in our What You Missed section.